Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And we are here today with Dale and Kat. Kat and Dale, congrats. You guys are a couple, right?
Kale.
What?
Kale.
Kale.
Heard it here first.
Heard it
Kale.
here first. A new couple name, Kale. Is
Kale.
that, are we set on that?
It's genetically modified, the vegetable that everyone thought was healthy and is actually probably not that good for you. That's what you guys are, actually.
Acquired taste.
That is so true. Yeah, the kale is an acquired taste, but
What would be the opposite? Dad?
That's made up dat. I'm like, dat. No way.
Dad and Kale. Okay, yeah, I guess you got to go with Kale.
Kale, for sure.
How you guys doing? How do you feel after the reunion?
I feel good after the reunion.
Yeah.
I thought that
over.
I thought sparks were I thought there were some moments where it was going to get super intense, but people kind of reeled it in. But there was so much stuff yeah, I'm literally like squeezing Kat during the reunion, like keep it chill, don't burn the stage down. But overall, like, when you watch stuff back, I think people have an idea of, going into the reunion, they want to say certain things, but everyone kind of held their composure. And I think a lot of the fans probably are going to have a lot more clarity about situations that were going on during the season. Because even I did, like, different perspectives. And I thought everyone approached it in a really, really good way. And I think a lot of people squashed some of the issues that they had going on, while airing was going. I know there were some things circulating for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What were you guys most nervous about going into the reunion?
I think I was like, I can speak for myself. Seeing how everybody kind of was moving in real time with the way while it was airing made me realize, like, oh, people are like, they're not afraid to say anything or do anything or whatever that case may be. So I was just, I guess, more nervous about things getting really elevated and heated and it leaving without any kind of clarity at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think on my end, the biggest thing was for us just to kind of, take the higher ground, which, I knew we would obviously communicate our stance in a lot of situations, but you'll see that throughout the season. We were balancing each other out at different times. But the biggest thing is a lot of times if there's some negativity, it's just projection. So we didn't need to fall into, tit for tat or any of those things. And I thought that it went really, really well. And it's also just good to see everyone. That's probably the last time we'll all be in a room together at the same time. So it was a good feeling, but I'm happy it's wrapped for sure.
I'm so happy it's over.
Yeah.
For you, Kat, it's kind of like a lot of accusations have been thrown at you. So no matter what, going into the reunion, you have to be on. Like, you really can't even go in there like I'm in a happy, healthy relationship with Dale. It's like I am. But I also have to defend myself against everything that kind of went down.
I think I just wanted to make sure that our relationship was still expressed and acknowledged, and we didn't take away from that relationship, right? And my biggest thing going into it was that I think people just needed to be held accountable for certain behaviors and things, and that to be done in a way that's kind and still with composure. But as I'm sure we all know, going into those settings and you kind of put yourself back in that place. And so sometimes your emotions can take over. So just being very grounding in yourself so that way you can actually get your point across.
Yeah. I think it was also cool because, the whole cast is there. So some of these situations, when it's online and social media, you're dealing with it kind of yourself. People aren't going to speak and say too much. But in that setting, I think there were a lot of cast members that stuck up for either of us in situations. We did the same and really spoke about some of those situations that kind of helped just dead it. You know what I'm saying? So
I know what you're saying, Dale.
Everyone does now.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
Where do you guys stand with Sean and Alicia now?
I don't have a problem with Sean. I think Sean made, he was frustrated and made some, decisions that he probably wished he would have handled a little different. Obviously, he's not, going to apologize. He did whatever, and he stands by that. But I think he also realized during the reunion that it was a heat of the moment. He was frustrated, and it was just digging, right? There's bigger things that people go through in relationships than what was expressed on the show. And I think like he understands that. It seems like you guys had a good
Yeah.
rapport.
I mean, even before the reunion, gave him an olive branch and reached out to him to see if he wanted to talk through anything. This is weeks ago, just because in those environments, like things are really heightened and we're limited in the way we can like communicate our perspective. So we kind of like squashed what we could, but I also realized that like as things are airing, you might like want to kind of lean into that narrative too. So I didn't know how he was going to come into the reunion necessarily. Same with Alicia. Me and Alicia did not speak before the reunion, like no outreach was given. So I think that I was able to kind of almost like I guess give like more perspective and see that there wasn't as much weight in what the accusations were because there wasn't really any like proof or follow-up. I was able to like at least feel where they're coming from, I guess their opinions on my character. And I don't want to like we're not like best friends, but like I don't hold any animosity because that's just like not who I am. I almost like forgive too easily, but I will say like this experience taught me like how close to keep people and those that like that people might be out to like hurt you in some capacity and you just have to be a little bit more cautious of that. So that's pretty much like where the I would say it lies. It's just like neutral. I'm never probably gonna see them again, so I'd rather just not have any hatred. But as long as like we both were able to speak our truth, that's all I really cared about.
Yeah,
Well,
I think, just at the end, people kind of tried to, just squash a lot of the large scale like combativeness. And again, like I think that's was the great thing about the reunion coming off it. I think if there
Yeah.
were things that were open-ended, people just kind of moved past them. And,
We
it
all said
didn't,
our piece. Like I feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
everybody said what they've been trying to say for these last like two while it's airing. Like it's been a lot of built up stuff. And I think once everyone was able to see that and say that we're adults, you kind of just like move on in your own ways. That doesn't mean that you're gonna be like texting each other and
yeah.
BFFs, but you can feel comfortable making a TikTok or something, you know?
yeah, yeah.
So
TikTok,
yeah,
TikTok, go crazy.
I'd rather put my energy towards I'm not gonna let people like, live in my brain, essentially. It's over, it's done. I can live in theirs if they want, but
Why? So going back to the show, accusing you of having an iPad
yeah,
and reaching out to your ex, or well, technically your current boyfriend is what the accusation was.
technically.
Um, why do you think he made that up? Because I stand with you in this situation because if you had an iPad,
Hmm.
they would have shown it.
Right.
And there's really nowhere for you to hide on the show. I guess I don't know, and you may not even be able to answer for Sean, but
Yeah.
where does he pull that out of? Is that just like,
Or do you think it didn't start with Sean? Do you think it might have started with your ex?
I think it was a combination.
Okay.
I do know that um what ended up happening when they got voted off and they were put in that hotel was he called my ex and said things about what I was doing in Paradise that ultimately also weren't true, such as like saying I was talking on camera about him cheating on me and kind of getting him riled up, at least sounds like. So I don't really know what was exchanged in that conversation that led him to say something to that extent. But as you see, it was an iPad or was it a laptop? Like, if you're going to speak on something with so much, like that has a lot of weight, I think it would be in your best interest to make sure you have your facts aligned.
for
Um,
sure?
can't speak on why he did what he did or what she did or said it to that way, but I I still don't know from even like what my ex had said. I know that for sure there was no receipts because there's nothing to give. And yeah, I don't know. I do know that it was a lot of yeah, the conversation that was had was not accurate from both ends.
Do you think that the accusations changed the way the vote would have gone?
No.
Yeah, I don't think it
It
did.
didn't look like it from
No,
watching.
I said it that morning. I was like, I love where we're at. Like, I thought that the three final couples were the three final couples that really did deserve to be there and like had, not to say that Bailey and Jeremy didn't, but they face a little bit more adversity in my opinion. But if it was the final four, I would love that too. I just like loved that we were where we were at and I felt like we deserved to be there and whatever happened afterwards I was fine with anybody who were to win or deserved to leave as like a little bit more financially stable from the money. So when we lost the challenge and it came down to Jess and Spencer, from an outsider looking in, obviously they would be the couple to go forward just based on their relationship that they saw. But I've always said it's hard because not one couple is better than the other. It's we're all in our own relationships. And I think we all have our own unique things. It just depends. But yeah, they definitely
Yeah, and
were
I
gonna
think
take
like
that home.
we knew like with the pointed questions challenge or whatever,
Yeah.
as we're reading through the questions that, are going to be asked and we, are tallying stuff up, we knew there was no way we were winning that. And
We
it's
also
not,
voted so many of those people off.
but it's also like I feel like we were very direct. If we didn't agree with something, we communicated it. And yeah, we were pretty firm with like, I let most people know if I was voting for him
Yeah.
right before the rose ceremony, so they always knew where I stood. And when people are coming back, even if there's not ill will, some of those things are gonna definitely come back around. And also just the nature of it, right? With some of the people who had left. It was going to be a tough go for us, but we said even going into it, like we're not going to sit and beg anybody for shit. We're gonna, be who we are. We can express, and people can see, how we built this here in Paradise.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it was out of our control at that point. So whatever happened, we were good. And
Yeah.
a little conflict at the end, but I think that set the foundation for us to, reset, really look at, you
It helped
know,
me. I was like, oh, this man is going to stand by me without even knowing anything. Like, that's incredible. Like, that actually like made our relationship so much stronger. I think they wanted it to do the opposite, but it was literally the weight of the world, like put into real test timing in that situation. And it really helped me like see him for who he fully
yeah.
is. And you don't really get that opportunity that much in those settings. So kind of
And it
Do you
that's
was
think? Do you think if Dale had a few more rosés in him, he would have handled that differently? Because I did. No, Dale. I want to ask you a serious question, Dale.
that's so funny.
You did really handle that like very mature. It was very mature of you, because I think most people in that situation and on that show, and it is a pressure cooker, and there's so much to think about, and you're near the end, would have been like, well, what the fuck is going on here? Do you have a boyfriend? I mean, this all seems pretty legit. What is going on? Why did you handle it the way you did?
I mean, for me, whatever situation happened, it's something that we could have the conversations and figure it out after the fact. I don't think it was handled the right way. I would have never handled it in that setting. And yeah, there were definitely moments where I really had to bite my tongue because I wanted to pop off, but it didn't serve anything. And it was less about me and it was more about Kat in that situation. Regardless of what happened, like I was going to be fine, right? Like if there's hurt and everything, that's okay. But there was never a time where I was going to try to throw her under the bus and pile on. But like it was really, really intense in real time. Like
Yeah.
I go for a walk and the entire group of everybody's walking with me. Sean comes over, Andrew, Jeremy, everybody. And then we're trying to look out for you. We just want you to be happy. Like yada yada yada. And in all those settings too, I was like, look, I don't care what's going on right now. All I care about is how Kat's doing, and whatever else comes out, like we can figure it out. But this whole situation, like I'm just kind of done with it. So you can say whatever you want. It's not going to change how I'm going to act. I'm grown, I'm fine. Like, but I want to, make sure she's okay, and we could work everything else out and figure it out after the fact. So I don't know. I'm always going to go to the source. And it did create, where we had to have some conversations after the fact. But that's all stuff that we could work out, right? We had gone through the whole Paradise experience together. So, like, we were going to finish it together.
Yeah, it was a lot longer in real
Yeah.
time.
It was a whole.
It like he was going for a while, and that's when I started to have a panic attack because I was like, I just felt like so powerless in that moment, and it was less about what he was saying. It was more about the environment and like where that brought me back to. And I was just in no capacity to even speak to anyone. And all I cared about was Dale. So yeah, it was a lot more intense. And then even after you came back out, it sounded like it was really, really a lot. So
Yeah.
he did really well.
If you guys,
But if you had a few more rosés, I don't know. I
No.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he would have handled that.
But he probably said a lot more.
If I,
he
there
still
were,
would have deaded it. Don't
I will
worry.
say, I am
100%.
good. The deaded moment. I didn't have as many rosés.
Like the Goldens were very, very taken aback by that because like they're like, what is this behavior?
Yeah, and you know, came at me like super sideways. Like if and again, at the end of the day, um, it was just an intense environment. And my main thing is like, look, like I'm not even trying to hear this right now. Like this has been going on for X amount of time. Let me find Kat. Let me make sure she's okay. We can talk. We can figure this out in the morning. And I just kind of left it at that.
I was in the out of bed.
Yeah. Kat, going on Paradise, how would you have described your relationship with your ex at the time?
With my ex at the time. Definitely not in a relationship. Like there was no boyfriend, girlfriend. I was seeing a few different people prior to going to Paradise, him being one of them. And we reconnected probably like I would say a month before I had left, but that was always known that I was going. And you know, and I've said this and I think he'll agree, it wasn't the healthiest. And it was one of those kind of attachments that I think we both needed to separate and see what was going to be the case. And that's what I used Paradise for. So I was coming in hopeful, but still like fearful of the experience. It hasn't worked out so great in the beginning or in the previous years. So I wasn't like, oh, I'm for sure going to meet someone like in my head. I'm not like, I'm going to leave knowing or with my person again. I was very open to like possibly just coming home alone. And that was okay. But I think just like an average, like, you know, normal dating, seeing someone, but with no like attachments to or titles to our relationship at all. And he can 100% testify to that and agree to that.
Yeah.
He was
And
on the roster.
well, even Andrew said in the
That's
reunion,
insane.
like
Like-
it's like, yo, whatever happens, because at the end, it's like close any loose ends that
But I was dating.
whoever had,
So
you know,
were
stuff
we.
going
I
on.
think a lot of people were dating because like that's what we're allowed to do. Like I think in previous years we were like, let's not live our life before because we want to find our person in Paradise, but we learned that that's not always going to be the case. And if you do limit yourself prior, then you almost come in with so much like expectations of how you're supposed to leave, and then that change
That's
like that
Jonathan
hurts
talked
you.
about that like really clearly, and
Yeah.
like the that he felt because the build up to Paradise was so intense for him.
Yeah.
And like each time, like if it wasn't someone that he was matching with, he just got lower and lower and just felt worse and
Like
worse.
I gave up all my life before and like for so that was just something I wasn't willing to do in this time. Like I was still gonna date and live my life and go on a dating show. Like why are we gonna stop dating if we're going on a dating show? So
if you guys had made it to the end, you're the only couple, okay? 500K is on the table.
fun.
Do you think one of you might have taken the money? Like, is it something you thought about or talked about at all?
And to add on to that real quick, do we know like if you could there have been a side deal made? Could like
you could take the money and then just figure it out after.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what we've been wondering.
Yeah, I would have to have something in writing where I'm like, you better share that with me. But if it came down to like we give up $500,000 and when we could just date after, like I didn't understand how you could choose love or money when like we have free will.
We never thought about that or even had that
I
conversation.
didn't even know that was an option. Like we didn't even think about that. But if it was 500K, that's different than 250K too, even. Like it's just I don't really know what we would do in
Yeah,
that
I
moment.
never really thought about that. Like some people are, because a lot, like Kathy's like, I'd take the money. And, and then even Spence were like, oh, yeah, we could take the money
And then
and we
people
could just do
start.
this after anyway. So
Yeah, I didn't understand
I
that.
think if until you're in that situation, but it'd be a conversation, you know.
I think the show needs to draw a clearer line on
Yeah.
like what it means to take the money and what it means to not take the money
Yeah.
because like yeah like
Because Joe and
it,
I was like, I'm at the very least seriously considering taking it. I'm probably taking it. And then I'm going to be like, but we'll split it on the back end and then we'll date the minute we get out of here. Like we're getting both somehow. So they
Yeah, yeah.
need to have some like definitive rules.
There's no rules. Are so
Season was let me throw
I,
something at the wall and see what,
I
sticks.
feel
yeah
like
So
said
that was one
like
of them.
let's take the money and then we'll just meet up after and we'll just keep doing this thing.
Just trying to, I think that was one of the things that these are like the kinks that they're going to work out. And I think our cast was kind of like the guinea pigs for even the challenges. Like
Yeah,
it's their
definitely.
first time doing something like this. So I'm giving them grace, but yeah,
I mean, we didn't have to make the decision, so it doesn't matter.
chilling.
yeah you guys are officially boyfriend and girlfriend, correct?
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
we are officially after the show, like we definitely
Kat, don't go on any other dating shows, Kat.
we're like starting the relationship, but we were very, very open
Hmm.
on like
Yeah.
how this works, like what needs to happen, things that had come up with both of us. And so I think like that initial month was really like
Getting the kinks out.
I'd say getting the kinks out and then also like addressing things very, very, upfront and everything like that. And without question, like August has been, strongest, moving in the
Yeah.
right direction. And it just takes time because when you're in paradise and you're in like this controlled environment, you're in a routine each and every day. And then, the way it ended, there were things that, we had to communicate about, and you don't have crossover in each other's lives. So like
I mean,
you haven't
even
even, yeah, she hasn't even like kicked it with
Becky's
any of my
family.
friends yet.
Well, the thing is like what I learned the first time, it's like you have paradise, you have this place where like it's, la la land, but then you have your work and you have your priorities and you have your family and you have things. And it's like, okay, how do we make each other fit into that? And that's like a very big test. And then throw the fact that we're watching something on television about a relationship, outside opinions. Then you have to throw into the fact that we can't even live a normal life, like which keeps us more separate because he does stuff for work that like I wouldn't be able to do. So it was a lot of things that like I feel like if we can get through those hard moments after is that's the best thing ever. And I feel like it's a really good testimony to any relationship in this franchise that has been able to come through. But
And you really start the relationship kind of now. Like
yeah,
really,
Yeah.
really
I keep
Yeah.
saying it's in like phases. I'm calling this
Yeah.
phase 2 plus.
Phase 2 plus.
Phase one is airing or filming, phase two is airing and trying to, but like us being private was so hard. Like he wouldn't even go into a gas station with me. It was like crazy, but he was still able to meet my family and everything. We like got a hotel like privately and um it was awesome. Like still being able to share my life with him and he's met all my like best friends and um yeah, we were able to do as much as we could in private, but now I feel like is when the fun can actually begin.
Well, how do you plan on navigating the opposite coast right now? Because yeah, New York, San Diego, I know
Yeah.
that is
yeah.
more difficult.
I don't think through the end of the year, like I don't think it's going to be that difficult.
Yeah.
Cat's schedule is a little bit more restrictive than mine. Obviously, um, I'll still be traveling and things like that, but I've also to start off September, I'm spending as much time here as I can. We've already got trips planned to New York, St. Martin in November. We haven't put those dates yet.
Denver.
Um,
We're gonna be together.
yeah, so we're still getting a lot of time, and some of that gap's going to be closed, like in a random location, right?
I've
So
been in long distance relationships like a lot and it was hard. But in this one, even in the fact that we haven't been able to live our normal life, I've seen him more on a monthly basis than I had in my actual real life long distance relationship. Because I think he has the means and ability to make that effort and prioritize like connection. And as long as we're both moving to that, then I think that's what keeps it totally fine.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're like in New York 24/7, like, and we're like living in this like different time zone. Like he'll stay here for a week at a time, and like now I can actually go there and stuff like that, or go with him on his little trips I just gonna tag along on. But I don't, yeah. And that was one of my first questions too, because I didn't really want to do that. But his previous relationship was long distance and it was never an issue. And that kind of made me feel a little bit more comfortable. Like, okay, despite the distance, it can still make it work. And as long as we're both working towards bridging that gap ultimately, when the time is right, then I think that's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, if both people want to make it work, you can make it work.
yeah,
Exactly.
and y'all, yeah, I mean, y'all know obviously, like, with how your relationship with, I don't know how long it was till you were, in the
Oh yeah, he loves to
same
tell me that you
city.
guys
No, but
were,
it takes time. You can
it
have
helps me.
ideas, like, and I have a lot of flexibility, but it still takes time to transition and make a decision on what's right. You also have to look at the future of, like, okay, like 2 years from now, like where do
Yeah.
you want to be? And so those conversations are easy ones to have. It's not difficult. She knows some of the core plans and things that I have to do for whether it's business, uh, tax purposes, all those like types of things. But right now, like those are things that'll all work itself out. We're
Mhm.
not putting too much pressure on it. I guess, I just have a few more flights booked.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really just about having fun right now. Like that's the biggest thing. And the more
Yeah.
you enjoy each other, the more you'll make time to see each other. In your guys' opinion, at the time, do you think if the show is based off of the strongest couples make it to the end, do you agree with the way it ended?
Like in the two
Is
that finished, or like how we
do you
all,
do you think the two that were the end, so Andrew and Alex and Jess and Spencer, do you think they at the time were the two strongest couples?
I
I
mean,
mean, like we talked about this on the reunion.
yeah,
Everyone has different phases of where they're at in the development, right? You come in at different times. Kat and I, in our opinion, like we're as strong as anybody. I think we were very
Yeah.
realistic. We were very open. Obviously, Spence and Jess were lock and key at the beginning. We knew there was no engagement that was happening in Paradise for either of us.
nope.
And yeah, it just wasn't happening. But we also went through a lot of things on the show, with people coming in, with controversy, a little conflict with us. That was really easy for us to move past. So
Yeah,
I
and then
think,
Andrew and Alex, I mean, they're beautiful in their own way. Like they have this like quick, fast love that I don't think either of them anticipated coming into Paradise to experience. And then you have Jess and Spencer who are like just so in love. Like I've actually never seen something like that in real time, like coming off even. Like I'm like, you guys are so in love. And I think we all just have in Jeremy and Bailey even like the most, I think, least expected couple, but they
Jeremy and Bailey had like a really,
really good.
really good thing.
Yeah, they
They have a
hold
really,
each
really
other
good
down.
thing.
Like they hold each other down, and I love that about them. So it's just we all have our own different unique qualities in each relationship that it's really difficult to say one is stronger than the other because it just depends on what you determine or like it's subjective, right?
But the way it finished, like we're not mad about it. Obviously, we would have liked to be there. I'll take the L, which was hard in the physical challenge. But yeah, I
Because
mean
of the way it
we're
ended.
good with it. And like
How mad were you when you lost that challenge on a scale of 1 through 10?
so that I didn't know. So I tore my tricep
Yeah.
before filming got cleared. I didn't realize that I tore my lat as well at the same time until halfway through filming. So like we're getting ready for the final, and then I'm talking with Spencer like what's going to be
How'd
the
you figure it out? Like, did you go get checked out?
I was doing a like stretching and a push up in a row, and like I could feel here
Oh, you
like
could feel the separation.
everything is, yeah, torn off the
Yeah,
back
he
side of
does
my
that.
lat.
He's always like,
And
touch it.
it was fine. Like I didn't think anything of it because we didn't have any physical challenges. But the day of the weight of the world, I'm talking with Spencer. I was like, you don't think it's going to be anything physical, right? He's like, oh no, we haven't done anything up until that point. And then we get there and we look at each other and I was
Well,
like,
they weighed us the day before too, so
I
we're
was like,
like, maybe this
I'm
has something to
fucked.
do with it.
I'm fucked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then
But you
production.
crashed out almost after every like it was difficult because these challenges, besides honestly the one that we won, were so subjective and like difficult to like
There were
win
some
or at least
challenges
have
you weren't going to win.
you
So it was
couldn't.
frustrating because you want to win the challenge, you want to get immunity and everything.
So
But
he
that
didn't
weight of the
handle
world
losing very
was frustrating because that was the first time in my life I've ever felt at a disadvantage or vulnerable physically.
he felt
If I was fully healthy, like I couldn't even feel my right side of the body after the challenge. My left side, I was fine. This was just destroyed. But I also did the challenge. I wasn't going to try to back out because it's like, anything can happen, and it's like we're here. Like let's just rip it.
Let's just rip it.
boy.
Dale, what's your horoscope sign?
Libra.
Kat, does that work for you?
I've actually dated a few Libras, surprisingly. It's not about the horoscope. I've already analyzed his birth chart.
Okay.
Does that work?
I'm pretty sure you're a double Libra, actually. But yeah,
Sure.
it's all about balance, and I think that that is what I need most. And so I think he has really kind of just been that like sounding board of balance for both of us, essentially. But
I feel like
it
you guys
does,
balance each other in like nice ways.
Yeah.
yeah, different ways. But it's
I'm also like super like punctual, prudent, like to my detriment. Like if it comes logistics, schedules, timing, I'm almost like obsessive about it. But that's also because of sports. I think life is just crazy at times, and there's so many like areas that I have to have like very, very detailed, consistent like planning. But I also realize in what, we've had to kind of navigate is, I can't always be on. I gotta, sometimes just let things
just
ride and go with
relax.
the flow.
Be a little goofy, like just feel a little feels. But
Yeah.
he also helps me like that type of energy motivates me too. So I think yeah, there's a lot of balance.
Yeah. And
Well,
it's an exciting time for both of us right now.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, listen, I like both of you a lot, and I really think it could work, and I hope it does. And next time you're in New York, we should get dinner. But that's really all we got for you today.
Pardon?
You guys are in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
we're
God,
in New
yeah.
York.
Wait, so fun. We could hang out with our friends.
Everyone's in New
Okay.
York.
New York's where it's at.
Yep.
I love New York. My family's from there, so that's like my most visited city. So it's awesome. But yeah, we're very
It's the
excited
best.
to come.
We know all the spots. I don't know if we're doing Fashion Week. I don't know about the Fashion Week craze though. We'll see.
You don't know, you're gonna miss out.
It's just it's a lot.
It's a
It's a
lot.
lot.
It's
It's
a
a
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
But it is fun seeing everybody, and
Yeah.
but regardless, I think
There's so
like
much life to live. I'm very excited for
yeah,
that.
there's just fun things that we're gonna be able to do, and I think that's what's really cool is we go into this phase now. Um, we get to experience new things together. It could be the same thing that we experienced alone, but it's going to completely change because you're with someone. And I'm excited because there's a lot of things that, I'll be able to show and like kind of open up my world to Kat. And like that excites me because there's so many things I've done by myself for so long, which I'm fine doing. I've, gotten used to it. But life is the best thing is being able to share it with your partner, or people you love and care about.
Yeah.
So we've got some fun things ahead.
Very excited.
Yeah. Well, we're excited for you guys. We're excited to follow along. You got the holidays coming up, meeting each other's, more friends and family. So yeah, we're just wishing you guys all the best. Thanks for coming on today.
The dreaded November.
Guys, I've been broken up with 2 years in a row. During
In November?
In November?
Thanksgiving week. Like
Well,
so the holiday.
Dale, at least wait
Dale,
till,
at least wait till Christmas.
Fun fact, December is the busiest time of year for dating apps. And that's because people they
Guess they just break up
they
with their
cut-
girlfriends.
they
Right?
cut
Like,
it over Thanksgiving because everyone's going back for the holidays.
Turkey dump. It's called
We're
turkey dump.
We're gonna hold it down.
Turkey dump,
hopefully.
yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
be memories because I can't be doing that.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. It's a thing.
We're going to break the cycle, Third time's the charm, Kat. This is your November, girl.
I have faith in you guys. I have faith in you guys. And to all our listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Bachelor Happy Hour. Make sure you download and subscribe to the podcast.
Thanks so much for listening. Bye.